Hey, Martin's son is the new head coach for the Roxana High School boys soccer program. How are we doing today, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
It is very humid in this studio. I don't know what happened, but it feels like Miami right now, you know?
It does, but I have to say I absolutely love this building. I love the history. I just love being in this area. It's nice.
It's fun to be here, too, you know, in the thick of it. And you always get to people watch from my office.
Oh, absolutely. I love people watching. Vegas is probably the best place to go people watching.
I'm doing that in 2 weeks.
That's awesome. Best of luck to you.
I'm a big people watcher. I'm going to start the professional people watching league, you know? But being at Roxana, man, you guys have a great facility over there.
Absolutely. I mean, having a turf field and also with the boys and girls having opposite seasons. I mean, when you're in season, you have full access to it. It's a beautiful facility, good stands, having lights. I mean, it's just not having to worry about weather, not having to worry about are we going to damage our field, and just having that flexibility. It's a huge advantage for training and games as well.
You aren't up the next day going, man, hope we can play today with that rainstorm, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, right now with club soccer right now, we were just talking about it in middle school soccer. I mean, it's you're constantly battling Mother Nature.
Right. And now take me through your background a bit and your coaching career, if you could.
So I grew up in Western Kentucky, and my father was the first head coach at Marshall County, which is one of the winningest programs in the state of Kentucky. And I played high school soccer and club soccer through that area. My brother was a JV coach. So when I went to college, freshman year, I started as a JV assistant, and then I became JV head coach over at Murray High School. And after, I'd say about 5 years of working with the JV, I tried a year with Murray State women's team as a student manager. And then I went as a head coach in the county school district. And so I started, that was my first year. I was 2 years as a head coach. I got a teaching job back at Murray, and I was an assistant varsity coach for several years, and then became their head varsity. So in total, I had 6 years of head varsity experience in Kentucky. In Murray, we had all of the schools, they don't do divisions. They don't do classifications.
Oh, no.
Oh, I know. And we're a small school.
Hell no. Okay.
But they have a privately run small state school tournament within the middle of the season. So 1 year we made it to the state and made it to the Elite Eight. 2 years we made it to the Final Four. 1 year we lost in a shootout. So we had a lot of success with that. We would run into those Louisville and Lexington schools, and you know, sometimes they would be a bit much, but had a lot of success there.
Well, that's really cool. And you know what I think's really fat? My dad and I were talking about this, is how you rise up to the head coaching spot. Because folks at home and stuff think, well, no, it's just somebody that wanted to do it. But there's a lot of years and a lot of different teams and just levels you got to be at to really feel comfortable in that role.
Oh, absolutely, because I mean, every year that you coach, you feel like you have it figured out.
Right.
And then just experience in general, no matter what you're doing, you just get better at what you're doing. So there's definitely being under people, learning from them, learning from their mistakes, learning from what they're doing well, and then just trying to be a sponge and absorb those things. And you just become better, well-rounded.
Did it surprise you about the admin work that comes with it? Because that's what I was kind of learning about. Because I've been on the sideline with Dad for hell ever, but to actually talk to him now and learn a little bit more about how the organization process or aspect of it goes. Because at first I thought, well, on the field stuff, well, that's the easiest part. It's all the back door work that has to be done before the season.
My first year as a varsity head coach, I was 24 years old. And that was a lot. I mean, just that organization. But now being 41, and I've been a principal before as well. So, I mean, paperwork, things like that, organization.
You're ready to go.
You've got it down. But that first time, I mean, there was a lot of things to work through. Absolutely.
So what are you looking forward to the most? Because it seems like, I mean, this is the perfect fit for you here at Roxana, because you have experience with, smaller schools and competing against the bigger schools in the state too. I mean, that's a pretty good track record to bring into a great program already that has that foundation.
It's a wonderful situation in which Coach Futrell is going to be an assistant. I mean, he has done a wonderful job with the program, and his work has changed where he did not have the availability he felt like he could give. And as we've connected, we realized that we have a similar vision and mission, and just expectations for the kids. So I think that you have two people who are going to work well together, so having someone who's there with you that's going to help me get to know the kids better, get to know the ins and outs of the program, because all programs are different,
Right.
And just that will help. But then meeting the kids as well. I've had a couple of informal meetings with the boys, very athletic. They're hungry. You can see that they want to play, and it just looks like a very fun group to work with.
Going forward, before the summer starts, you have any ideas of how you'd like to play? Is there a certain thing you're looking to do?
That's part of I've played possession style. I've coached where we have like a line of restraint and we're playing very defensive and counterattack, similar to like St. Louis City.
Yeah.
Like you put high pressure in certain areas, but then understanding the conference and understanding some of the people that we'll be going against, and with the expectation of wanting to be competitive against your Columbias and in schools,
right?
Of that caliber, which is a very tall task. And I'm not naive to the level of experience that some of their players would have, and the depth that they would have as well. So that's where I kind of look at that line of defense, line of restraint. Counterattacks, using athleticism. There's a coach that I used to coach against in Kentucky, and sometimes I would coach with him. His name is Mike Smith. He is a athletic director at Todd County Central right now, and he's coached multiple times. But he would always find these unique ways to have a tactic and strategy where he would take a team on paper that was a big disadvantage at times, and would create these teams that would make state runs and just unbelievable. And not just at the small school level, but when they would be the small school and they'd be competing against schools 4 or 5 times their size. It was very unique. So I'm definitely going to be picking his brain this summer and just kind of I understand his style, but I'm sure there's nuances that he includes and he has a good track record of building up those programs.
Yeah, that's cool, man. And now, where are you coaching club-wise right now?
So I was at Troy Energy, and then Troy Energy has merged into Gateway Rush. So right now I'm coaching Gateway Rush.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And now spring season going well too?
Spring season's going well. We had a really good fall season. We won 3 tournaments. We we were second in Division I, so we had a team move up to championship as well. This spring, Slice is still going well. We're very competitive. Maybe not the win-loss is what we're wanting, but we've gone up to Indianapolis and played in a Turf Cup, which what's
really that? Cool. That sounds cool.
So it was in Carmel, Indiana. We played teams. We'd see teams out of Indiana, Michigan, Kentucky. I mean, there was a lot. It was a good pool.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was definitely a good pool. And then we played and we won over in O'Fallon.
Well, and I wanted to ask you that first because there is, for folks at home, because I, dealing with it, for 20 years with, Dad on the sideline and always hearing, comments and concerns. The transition from club to high school is really unique because for Southwestern Conference anyway, in club, especially in the Gallaghers and stuff where I was at, there's a lot of finesse, a lot of, tit for tat, I call it that, ticky-tacky soccer where you're playing small and then you find that opening. But when you get to Southwestern Conference, for me, it was like, man, you're getting hit a little bit and it's going to be more direct and a little bit more physical. Is there a transition or a translation for you in that respect too from club to high school, or is it just kind of what I'm kind of seeing?
So I definitely could see that because competition sometimes dictates what you do tactically.
Yeah.
So if you have a very physical and athletic team that's playing direct, and you're getting high pressure, sometimes it's easy to go into that style and get back, especially if you are a possession team.
Right.
But then sometimes you will look at some schools, and I think Roxana would be one where we don't have a lot of kids that play club. So as you're trying to teach possession and encourage possession, which you do need to at some point, it is tough to get to that level of being tactically sound that you can compete with those Columbians.
Exactly.
And so then it's then you want to be more tactically sound with defense and counterattacks, and maybe trying to put more weight in that. So I really want to get to see the boys out there on the field more before we really kind of, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do. And maybe we might have, based on different matchups, different strategies. So we can definitely try to develop both.
Really cool. And now take me through some of the camaraderie on the coaching staff already, because it seems really cool. This is a great problem to have where, the value of what the organization means is really cool in this, because you have a coach that says, hey, I'm really getting too busy, and my schedule's not allowing for the time I need. So you collaborate, and all of a sudden it's not walking away, it's being a part of it in a different fashion. And that's really cool.
Absolutely. And it actually works out because we're both really busy. I'm moving. I live in New York in the summer. I help run a summer camp in upstate New York.
Cool.
So I leave June 8th and I come back August 3rd. So Coach, so I'm going to have the boys for about 3 sessions this summer. Coach Futrell is going to be running them during the summer when he has more flexibility. And then as the season starts, I'll be stepping in and will be the everyday presence, and Coach Futrell will be supporting. So it is, we're supporting each other in those times when we're having some difficulty with our schedule.
That's cool. I like it. Now, what do you? Whenever you're coaching, do you like the high school aspect of it? Because I know for some, I had a coach that said I'd rather coach club, but for me, I'm a high school guy. I love that type of hometown. Everyone's involved in it. There's that kind of pride that goes into playing for your local high school, and that just for me, that's where I'm most excited about.
The fall of 2016 was my last year coaching high school, and I've definitely missed it.
Yeah.
There's just that school spirit element. There is the rivalries. The games seem to mean more. Like you get some media. Excuse me. You get some media presence out there. You have kids that are coming through your program, and you're building them up. It just has a different level of pride to it.
It does. Yeah. So, and that's why I think it's so cool to, especially for Roxana, man, I'd be excited if I'm playing in the summer, because you have, your coach that you're used to coming in and helping while you're, up in New York, but also you have 2 guys that are in a whole staff that's knowledgeable and really ready to, and eager and passionate and ready to work. This is cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we really want to create a program that is about the kids.
Yeah.
I think that high schools, and Coach Futrell does as well, high school sports, it teaches lots of life lessons. And it gives kids a place to belong and develop as individuals. And it also develops a passion for games. Like soccer is one of those lifelong sports that you can just love and support. And it has that following. So just a development and love for the sport. But we definitely want this to be something that benefits the kids.
Absolutely.
And it's a kid first program, or I don't want to be called kids, but a student first program.
Well, it is. And the thing is, because soccer, you have to be smart to play it. You can't, and I always make the argument, I get yelled at by baseball guys all the time, but it's not a technique sport. You're going to be doing a lot of critical thinking on the field,
Absolutely.
and at the nearest second, figuring out how can we change the ship, how can we steer it better on a course. And that's what I think is so great about high school sports too, because for the first time, those students or players could feel like they're really held accountable, and holding their role on the team, whether or not it's on a starting 11 on the bench coming in to, give us some win back on the sail. But it really showcases that aspect of it too, of being an adult, and making decisions for yourself for the greater good of 3 or 4 people.
Absolutely. And the importance of hard work and having a growth mindset of, if I put this work in, you get in what you put, you get out what you put into
Exactly.
circumstances, teamwork, just belonging and having that ownership. But going back to what you said, soccer definitely is a thinking sport.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is so situational. It's not basketball where you can run set plays, or football where,
Exactly.
where everything stops. It's a constantly moving game. And the smarter you get, the quicker you can play. And it's all about speed of play and wanting to develop that mindset.
Man, that's cool. I'm excited for Roxana soccer. This is cool, man. So when's first game? Do we have the schedule out already?
I do not have the schedule out in front of me, but I know it is that Wood River tournament. That tournament is going to be the first thing that we're going to do.
Man, what are you looking forward to the most going back to high school?
I've been coaching kids that, 10, 11, 12, just that independence, just that, we've been playing very competitively as well, but there's just that something about coaching the older kids and that independence and that the level of play, the aggression. It's just that element that sometimes you don't get at a younger age, and so I'm definitely looking forward to that.
That's cool, man. Best of luck, and whenever a season starts creeping up, you want to come back on, you're more than welcome to. And for all of you, we're going to take a quick pause here, but before I do that, Hainer Library, kids, your research papers are due, and if they aren't due yet, well, they were due 2 weeks ago, and you're in some trouble. Google is not your friend, okay? Hainer Library has a resource center where you can go and get all those citations right at the touch of a button with your library card. Plus, if you got any projects coming up, they have a library of things. So like, your kid's TI-84 calculator breaks and you got one more day until the summer. Go and rent it instead of paying those $200 to come, go get it from Walmart and take it back the next day. You get it for free.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if it's ghost hunting kits, fun in the sun activities for your family this summer, like, that tin can game or can jam, that's what it is. Ghost hunting kits, podcasting equipment, and school equipment, too, all available at the Library of Things. You go to HainerLibrary.org to find out all that information and get your library.